We'll now look at the qualifications for membership in Crossway Multinational Church. The first and most fundamental qualification is that a person professes faith in Jesus Christ, a saving faith in Him as Lord and Savior. And in reality, this is the requirement for membership in the Universal Church. The Universal Church being the body of all Christians of all time and all locations together in this invisible body, this people of God. And having a saving faith in Jesus Christ is what makes one a member of that invisible universal church. It also is the most fundamental qualification for membership in Crossway Multinational Church. One of the questions is, how do we know the reality of these things? The reality of an invisible faith? Well, the Bible teaches that that faith should result in works. It should result in a lifestyle. And so a requirement is that we manifest or demonstrate a lifestyle that evidences, or we might say shows, the Lordship of Christ. So we demonstrate that this is real, that the work of Christ in us is real. And this is very challenging. First of all, we want to be very clear that being a child of God doesn't require any action, any goodness on our part. It's entirely faith. We are saved by the grace of God, which we access through faith. Yet, for membership in the church, we say so it also is important that we demonstrate that this is real. And the key thing that we look for is growth. There's something that says there is a hunger for growth. Itself is an evidence of the Lordship of Christ. There is a movement toward becoming more like Christ. There is a demonstration of the reality of this faith. And part of this is the recognition of a need to grow. And so this is an important part of what it means to be qualified, to be able to be a member of the church. It's critical that we agree with the church doctrinal statements. There needs to be a shared belief in the essential elements of the faith. And so our doctrinal statement has 10 points that there needs to be agreement. There is room for some flexibility if on some of the secondary aspects of this there's maybe a different way of seeing things, but there has to be a fundamental agreement with it. And this is these two items, that the manifesting a lifestyle and agreeing with the church doctrinal statement do become a part of the wisdom and the counsel of the elders in determining where there is variation, for instance, in what is believed. Does this continue to demonstrate a solid agreement on the beliefs of our church? Another qualification is an agreement to work in harmony with the Constitution, bylaws, and core values. So particularly with the Constitution and bylaws, there doesn't have to be an agreement that this is the best way to run a church. There just has to be an agreement that this is the way this church will run, and a willingness to work in harmony with that. So not fight against it, not say this is a bad way to go. To be a member of the church is to agree that what we have in place is the way that we will operate, and to work in harmony with that. The core values are a little bit different in that there doesn't have to be total agreement in these things, but there does have to be an agreement to grow into them, to explore what does it mean to grow into holding these values, in addition to saying I'm going to work in harmony with them. And so we expect this to be a journey. So it's different from the doctrinal statement, where there has to be agreement with these beliefs. With these other parts, there has to be an agreement to work in harmony with them and to grow into especially the core values. And then to be a member, there's a willingness to support the church, and highlighting that supporting the church comes in attendance, just by being present, through praying and serving and giving. And that is a key part of what it means to be a member of the church. Then I should say that there is no minimum age to join, that the qualifications are what they are, and somebody, we don't set a minimum age that somebody can join who is younger, as long as they meet the qualifications. The one difference is that you have to be 18 either to vote or to hold an elected office. So a member of the board can't be younger than 18. Again, the process is one of discernment together through the nominating committee. What this point says is there's a minimum age of 18 to be considered for that. So these are the qualifications for membership of our church.